My name's Davida Shinsky, and the title of this program is Live Without Limits, Reach Personal Success on a Daily Basis. And Live Without Limits podcast is a powerful platform transcending all boundaries of personal growth and mental health fortitude. As an eminent name in the personal success podcast sphere, we distill complex issues surrounding personal development, psychology, and mental health in a compelling dialogue format. Our nuanced approach fosters insightful conversations on relationships, offering pragmatic advice to navigate challenging waters. We stand as your trusted beacon to break free from the chains of limiting beliefs and actively promoting healthier you, a stronger you. With every episode, we pioneer empowering mental transformations, compelling listeners on their individual success trajectories, engaging specialists across various fields to reinforce our commitment towards holistic well being, ensuring wide ranging prospects and innovative strategies, relatable narrations coupled with science backed insights become the catalyst for meaningful change. Live without limits, reach personal success on a daily basis is unraveling the astonishing potential within you, one podcast at a time. And today's presentation is titled Struggling with Social Anxiety. You're not alone. So, 5 tips to help you. If you struggle with social anxiety and fear, you need to know that you are not alone. Many people have social anxiety, ranging from mild to extreme. Some are diagnosed with anxiety disorders, but plenty of people aren't. They may not fit the criteria or choose not to reach out for professional help. Regardless of how much social anxiety you struggle with, there is good news. There are many tips, tricks, and techniques that can help you increase your social skills and decrease your anxiety about social situations in general. So, the 5 practice conversations, or rather, let's back up. 5 tips to help you with social anxiety. Practice conversations in your head. Great way to start facing the fear of socializing is to practice starting a conversation with people. This may sound challenging, but I assure you that every conversation that you start with can become easier and easier. The first thing that you can do is prepare yourself with this exercise. Use visualization techniques is a wonderful way to begin with your journey to anxiety free conversations. So here's how it works: sit in a comfortable spot and take a few deep breaths. Begin to visualize yourself walking up to someone you know or a stranger. Now, before I go any further, what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about personalities. Because if you're an extrovert, it's very easy to walk up to someone and talk to them if you don't know them. And it's much harder if you're an introvert. You just got to know what your strengths and weaknesses are and how you can bring them forward to help you. Scenarios to start with could be something that could come up at work, at the checkout line in a store, while you're out walking in your neighborhood. Then see yourself comfortably initiating a conversation and carrying the conversation for about 10 to 30 seconds. Do this mental exercise over and over until you've seen yourself initiate a handful of conversations. Know what you want to talk about. Think about a few topics that you can initiate a conversation with. Start with something easy, a little personal, like that person's jewelry, hairstyle, or clothing. You can say something like, "Wow, I really like that sweater." Or, "Your necklace is beautiful." You can even use the common conversation starter by talking about the weather. Once you make a comment, relax and let them respond. Then you can follow up with something else to say that can build into a conversation. If you like someone's hair, let them know. Once they respond, you can ask a question that could start a conversation. Like, "I've always wanted to try that hairstyle, but I never had enough courage to do the and go that bold. So who is your hairdresser?" Then see where the conversation leads. You can increase your social skills by practicing these conversation starters and building up self confidence. Practice in front of a mirror with a friend or partner, or just rehearse in your head until you feel more confident. If it doesn't go as planned, don't worry about it. Everyone has to contend with conversations that don't go as planned. You just brush it off and move on with a smile. Verywellmind.com suggests that some social anxiety triggers are not knowing the other person well enough to get a conversation going. They propose simply asking them questions to get going, and once you learn more about them, the conversation can flow more easily. Building confidence helps with socialization skills. If you build your confidence, you will be able to socialize much more easily. Those who cannot socialize as well as they'd like may have had a bad experience while growing up, and the efforts from that carry over into adulthood. For example, if a child tries to socialize with kids at school and is made fun of for how they act or what they say, there can that can create a feeling of rejections, and that child may become insecure in socializing. As a result, they may shy away from situations in which socialization occurs and not develop the necessary skills for adequate conversation skills as an adult. Building confidence at an age is possible. I know what it is like to be afraid and insecure at the thought of having to converse with people, but I also know that with hard work and determination, confidence and socialization skills can be learned. Try positive affirmations. A great way to become more confident is to recite positive affirmations out loud daily. Positive affirmations are simply statements that are positive and encouraging. They are statements about what you want to become in your life. And I want to backtrack here. And if you ever have heard or understand what transactional analysis is, it's where you've got the parent, the adult, and the child. The parent says you should. The adult says I am able to. And the child says I want. And those things can be in conflict. What I'm getting at here is often a parent will tell you and say statements to you that can be negative, like, oh, you can't live on your own. Oh, you're going to fail that course. Why are you taking that? And what happens is you hear it so often that you internalize it and you start repeating it to yourself over and over again. So that what we're talking about here, when we're talking about the laws of attraction and affirmations, is you have to reprogram those thoughts instead of being negative ones to being positive statements. So always recognize that you want to be more confident and social. You can write out statements that reflect this to be true and read them daily. Post them in a spot where you will be continually reminded to speak them. Here are a few examples of what you can write. I am very confident in my ability to converse openly and effortlessly. People like me because I am friendly and likable. I have favor wherever I go. My socialization skills are improving all the time. I have so much to offer in a relationship. It's all right if conversations don't go as planned. It's not a big deal. You can write as many positive affirmations as you'd like. Involve all areas of your life and very powerfully be proactive in building your confidence. Give yourself options. Another great way to build confidence is to get out and get involved in something that entails you having to interact with people. Volunteer, join a club, or find a hobby. The more you put yourself in social situations, the more you will be forced to work on your confidence and socialization skills. Joining groups will also give you more talk about you and now have something in common with the person you want to approach. Social anxiety, and you can become more confident and social. It simply takes effort and time on your part. Believe in yourself and give yourself time to learn better socialization skills. It's taken me years to get more confident socializing, but the time and effort has been well spent. And and you got this as well. Now, let me go back and talk a few minutes about different personality types because I think this is so important. We all have these within us. The only difference is that some are our strengths, some are our weaknesses. You've got the D, which is the dominant personality who feels they can control their environment and they're very outgoing. You've got the I, who's the interpersonal skills, and that person can be in a party and talk to strangers and can also do business at a party. Then you've got the S, which is the steadiness, and that person is someone who's the peacemaker in the group, and they literally go by the book. If they work for a company and they get the company manual, they can read it from cover to cover and they can quote it for you. Then you've got the C, or the conscientiousness personality. And this is where your child is because they constantly question everything until they know all the answers. And if you're selling to them anything, you gotta have all your ducks lined up in a row and know all the answers to their questions. Now, the S and the C are introverts, so it's harder for them to interact with people. And remember this, when you talk to people, you want to be able to read them enough to understand what their personality is so you can adapt how you talk to them, because people can take affront to things you say if you don't talk to them in their language.